What we're trying to do is sort of remodel your design brain. And this is an exercise of remodeling, an exercise of subtraction. This is not about the object that you're making. This is about the process of designing. So we want to actually begin this design intervention by talking about what is perhaps one of the most over-designed objects in the West, which is the chair. As one designer recently put it, our situation is designed for sitting. What we're interested in today is what happens when something so materially and symbolically entrenched is actually subtracted out of design. There's an increasing body of research, which they do draw on, that suggests that sitting is actually the new smoking. There are many things to take away from this example, besides the fact that one of the most important objects in the history of Western design, namely the chair, is slowly killing us. In particular, by eliminating what we like to call the element of common sense in design, or rather what everybody knows, namely that you design a workspace with chairs in mind, right? Places to sit and be productive. By eliminating that, users were able to discover new affordances in the environment. And we want to suggest that the end of sitting, this example, becomes what we might call a lure, as the philosopher Alfred North Whitehead would suggest. It would become a lure for us to entertain what role the designer should have in the design of affordances more generally. So, for example, how should designers engage with geopolitical problems such as mass migration, the age of terror, and climate change, when preconceived notions about users and their needs no longer have any traction?
Some people say that when you want to do something scientific, you need to start with a well-defined problem. So what's the problem to be solved? And something that Adam and I are very interested in is taking that apart a little bit, because you could also say that, for example, another approach would be, let's say, from a philosophy point of view, would be where science starts with the problem, philosophy ends with the problem. Meaning, maybe we don't even know enough to say what the problem is. Or maybe what people think is a problem is not a problem. And what people don't think is a problem is a problem. Okay? We think of this, we need to move back to immigration and poverty immigration. And Adam's pointing out the exercise of deletion, of taking away something that we take for granted. Okay? And being in the condition of let's say, a migrant condition means, of course, that we have been deleted, or things have been deleted from us. Before we think about exactly what's been deleted, as part of your exercise here too, is, well, we can think about what do I take for granted? You know, I take for granted this thing, right? Everybody has it in their hands. So it's part of the body, right? But I can also think of this as maybe an instrument. That is, it could be used to measure, it could be used to relate me and you, to say. Let's put everything in brackets. Let's not assume we know what we mean when we say body or market or surveillance or body or immigrants. Maybe we don't know what we're talking about. And all these exercises that we're trying to point to, it said, yes, let's do this exercise. Let's do this exercise and think about deletion experiments, etc. Let's think about infrastructures and things like that. But, you know, at the end of the day, these exercises, if they're going to be real exercises, they are making a big presumption, right? That we can speak on behalf of somebody who we are not.
What we'd like to propose is the designers cannot know, and this is what's distinctive about what we're suggesting, is that designers cannot know in advance what kinds of meanings and comforts that refugees will find in their home, or their new home. This also means resisting the allure of designing with a good will or a pure heart. As if we knew how those materials and practices would take on meaning for another. But I'm just doing it for goodwill. This is a temptation that I feel like designers, philosophers, critical theorists all have, but it's essential to actually try to resist that goodwill. And what we're suggesting also is that idiocy is a way of achieving this. Is that idiocy that should be of deep ethical and political concern to this area of design research. And that one technique for activating it is what we like to call subtractive design. Right? And this is precisely what's important for thinking about a problem like immigration. Because how dare you think that you know how a migrant will respond to these new conditions? So designers do not need to add anything more to the world to address world problems. If anything, they need to help subtract from it. The intention is here to turn you all into idiots. The first step to achieving your idiocy is you need to take your site, to choose 4 defining features of your site that kind of define it, that make it what it is. Number 2, describe the organizing principles, there might be more than one, that hold those features together. Number 4, subtract out the organizing principle. Take it out. And then try to describe what new forms and principles of organization emerge. Take these into your model and reconstruct it. Right? This is going to take some imaginative and creative work. Okay?